and welcome back to Celebrity with Nene. Today, I'm Nene, of course, and today I have Johnny and Sean with me, and we are going to be doing a live recap of Life After Lockup, and this episode was entitled Partners in Crime. Okay, so the first couple that we saw was Lindsay and Deontay. So we see Lindsay, she's getting ready for Deontay's arrival and her friend Blaine, I finally figured out his name now, but after 3 episodes here. But yeah, so Blaine, he says something to her like, are you planning on having sex with him? And she's like, oh yeah, that's the plan. And then she kind of jokes around and she's like, I wonder if I'll get pregnant or something to that effect. And he's like, nah. She's like, well, that's what happens. She hasn't had sex in a long time. And so Deontay arrives at this house. She runs outside, they're hugging and they kiss each other. And Deontay ended up asking her, like, well, whose house is this? And, she invites him in. He meets Blaine. And then the three of them, they end up sitting down and having a discussion. And Blaine is, well, Deontay kind of lets, well, I shouldn't say kind of, he does say to Blaine, like, he doesn't know who he is. He hadn't heard of him before. So Blaine explains how he knows Lindsay and his past with Lindsay. And you could tell that apparently Lindsay didn't tell Deontay about her past. And so he's thinking the worst that Lindsay has done was when she carved whatever she carved into Scott's desk. That's what he's thinking. But he's learning about Lindsay's true past from Blaine. You could tell he's not necessarily the happiest with what he's hearing. And Lindsay even makes a statement that she wanted to, like, say shut up, like she's trying to tell him with his eyes, you're telling too much, but it didn't work. All righty. And so Dante actually asked her to show him around the house, which I was like, I wonder why is he asking? I don't know. But then I figured it out. He wanted to see where is Lindsay sleeping at, where is Blaine sleeping at, so he can kind of figure out if they're together, and he doesn't know it. And so she actually gives him a tour. She shows him where she sleeps at, and that her and Blaine share a bathroom, which it seemed like Dante didn't really care for. But hey, everybody don't have a house big enough, so everybody has their own bathroom. So he kind of needs to give that up. And so then they're heading out the door, her and Deontay, and Blaine tells her, hey, you forgot to grab your bag. And then when she goes back into the room to get the bag, you can kind of hear her and Blaine having a little conversation where Blaine is like, where are y'all going to be at exactly? And she's like, well, I'll text you, let you know where we are. And he's like, yeah, but I may know where you are before you text me. All right, so what did you guys think of Deontay? Blaine, I'm gonna add him into it because it seems like he's a part of this couple now. So Blaine, Deontay, and Lindsay this week.
I was kind of happy for Deontay. I mean, outside of Lindsay keeping stuff from him. And then, of course, in the preview, we see that she warns him that she still has warrants and don't say her name and all this, all this stuff. But she actually really seems into him.
Yeah.
So it's different watching somebody who's really into Deontay, and we'll see how long he stays interested in her. Blaine, I think Blaine is just being protective. I think he's just being protective big brother. I didn't get like jealousy, I want you type vibes. I just felt like he was, where are you going? We don't know this dude. Make sure you tell me where you're at so I know where I can find you if you, go missing. So I didn't get jealousy vibes. Who was that one couple where the girl was being extra?
Sean and Sarah?
Where you could tell where she was jealous and trying to make sure she sabotages or she's just being extra controlling over her roommate. When her roommate was a dude. You knew that she liked him. The one with the jacked up teeth.
Oh, yeah, from last season.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Bradine and
Bradine, yeah. Like you knew in that case she was just being extra roommate, but I didn't get that from Blaine.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that he likes Lindsay. Um,
Mm-mm.
I didn't get that vibe either. It was just funny when he made that statement. I was like, look at him.
Yeah, being protective.
All right, Sean, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, yeah. I also didn't get that vibe that he uh wants a relationship with her. It is. I did see it as more of brotherly love. You know, that's my sister, my brother type thing. Um, but it was kind of funny when he was telling Deontay all of her business, and she was trying to give that little eye. And I know the feeling because it's like when you're with your kids and they just talk,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to tell them to shut up, but you try to give them the look so that they know.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
you don't want to just tell them sit your butt down, so you
uh,
give them that look like,
yeah, they know the look, so they be quiet. But obviously he didn't see the look because he kept it talking, and I thought that was
hmm
funny. And to the bathroom scene, uh, yeah, everybody don't have a two bathroom house, so if that's all you got is that one bathroom. Then
yeah,
Deontay has to understand that. But on the other hand, Deontay been hurt and been
exactly.
he has to be a little bit more protective and go in with his eyes open, more open this time around, and be more uh, cautious instead of just going with the flow. And so I thought that was cool that he said something. But it also, I kind of think Deontay got the feeling that old boy don't um, want a girl either. At least that's what it looked like when they were sitting down on the sofa. And when he had made the confessions, like I don't know if he's trying to scare me off or is he trying to warn me,
Yeah,
And yeah, so I think he's just trying to warn them, make sure you know what you're getting into. Just like on the other hand, he taking care of his sister. It's like, hey, I gotta protect you, because don't want you to come back and get pregnant. Um, so because you need to spend time with your daughter, you know, have
yeah.
quality time with your daughter. And that too, the move, uh, yeah, I can see it. Now, I would, if I was him, I wouldn't move until I was sure that we are
hmm
in a relationship, either, about to get married, engaged, type thing. I wouldn't just up and move just out of love.
Yeah.
We have to be in a committed relationship.
Yeah, you got to give me that commitment. I need at least a ring, and
Yeah,
then we can talk about moving.
yeah,
Otherwise we can be boyfriend and girlfriend long distance.
yeah, yeah. And obviously, he don't mind driving 12 hours to see her.
Okay, because he jumped in that car, he did that.
Yeah. And the vibe I get from her, she probably, well, I don't think she can fly. Can she fly? No, she got uh, federal.
No, she can't. She can't do anything.
Oh, so well, then next time he might want to fly to Mississippi. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and then
Are there
drive.
how many airports are in Mississippi?
Yeah, I don't know how close they are to Biloxi. Um,
Yeah,
and then what else they got? They got Biloxi, and they got something else.
Birmingham. Oh no, no, Birmingham's in Alabama.
Yeah,
Jackson. They have Jackson. Is that a major city?
Yeah, then I know Memphis is not far from a lot of the cities in Mississippi. So how
yeah.
come she
So
can always go to Memphis?
yeah, and even if he did fly to Birmingham, that's only like a 4 hour ride to Mississippi.
To her, yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah, since she can't fly, and seeing how, of course, next episode he can't mention her name, and uh, I thought it was funny because he said that she couldn't get a hotel because she had warrants and the hotels out to get her.
That just really amazing, made me laugh. I'm like, are the police really checking the rosters at hotels?
I mean, if it's
Like,
a small city like that where they have nothing else better to do, I guess so.
Yeah,
Especially since she's known to be, and she's known to
right.
be a drug person who sells out of hotel rooms. So I
Yeah.
think it's just unwise that she would use her real name. Like, I don't understand why she didn't have drug names. Snow
Uh,
Bunny in Hotel Room 102.
yeah.
Cinderella Jackson in Hotel. Like,
Yeah, especially if she paying with cash. So
yeah, like, why would you use your real name?
yeah, And then too, he was talking about him moving down there. Again, with him moving down there, I'd be like, nah, because it did make a good point on why
Yeah.
he wouldn't, and that is he ain't see too many of him down there.
Hmm.
And being from Louisiana, which is so close to Mississippi, uh, those people ain't too kind to us folks.
No, that's a rule of mine. When I drive to Dallas,
Hmm.
I don't stop in Mississippi.
I don't blame you.
I just don't. I mean, I'm sorry. You just have too many stigmas out there about black people
Yeah.
and the tortures that they've gone through down there. I just don't. That's just like I avoid certain places in Georgia. I
Uh,
don't, it's just unfortunate that we still have to do that, but
yeah.
I'm not trying to go off anybody's radar.
Yeah. Because like when we go up to Ohio, I was told never stop in West Virginia, especially at nighttime. So I was like, okay then. So
Yeah,
yeah, just the
are they,
south.
because they're the state, because I didn't even know about that until I watched Love Country, and I know we're totally straying here, but about the nighttime driving, where you had to be out of certain cities at certain times of night
Yeah.
before cops and stuff did stuff to you. So
Yeah,
I
so in
didn't learn
different
about
towns.
that. Yeah, I didn't learn about that till freaking Love Country. I was like, oh my God. So, but anyway, I guess West Virginia was one of those places.
Uh-huh. So hopefully, well, it look like he might wind up going down there. But if you do, hopefully everything work out. And then too, he need to know the cost of living and how much money he's going to be making compared to Virginia down there.
Hmm.
I have a whole lot that he's going to really be giving up. So yeah, you need to make sure that that's the one that he wants to be with. If he going to go there, seeing how she can't come to him, So, but yeah, that's all I got on them too. And hopefully, I know because I don't believe in premarital sex, but look like he might get him some. And kudos to him, seeing how.
I know, finally, no more
Hmm.
fake cat.
Uh, yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
Yeah, so this may be the lucky time for him. Yeah.
yeah, he ain't got to give her no booze job. He ain't got to get no what is it, Lindsay Jr. Or
Hmm.
he ain't got to do none of that. He ain't got to.
No,
Right.
she really is like really into him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, I was like, oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought it was cute to see.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. So the next couple that we had was Puppy and Amber. All right. So we see that Amber, she talks to Puppy again about Eric, which at this point it's like, Amber, now you're beating a dead horse. Like how many times are you gonna talk to her, especially about this guy being married? Like she's hurting. Like I don't know how many more times. Aren't you tired of talking about it? But anyway, we see Puppy, we see her crying, kind of about some of the things that Amber is talking to her about. And Amber actually reveals that she has a boyfriend. And so you could tell it bothers Puppy that she had no clue about this, that, it's like Amber's been off, having a man. But then, well, I ain't gonna even bring that up. Okay. And so, hmm?
Give the tea. Go ahead on.
No, it wasn't a tea. It was just gonna be my advice on it. Like, okay, you and Amber are supposed to be such good friends, but you didn't even know she had a man.
Hmm.
And here you are beating in Puppy's head about certain things, acting as if you're saying all these things because you're her friend, but she doesn't even know you have a man. How good is y'all's friendship? But that's my case. So Puppy is saying to them she doesn't even know if Eric is coming back to pick her up. And so we see Amber, Queen, that's their other friend. And they had like another friend. I didn't catch what her name was. They pack up their hotel room and they leave. And Puppy goes back to her hotel room with Eric. And that's when she reveals that like Eric hasn't called her since he stormed out of the reception, the wedding, or whatever. And so, she doesn't know if he's coming back to get her. So of course she calls Amber. And Amber is like, well, pack up your stuff and we'll see if he comes back for you. If he doesn't, I'll send my mom to come and get you or whatever, so you can go back home. Um, we see that Puppy tries to call Eric a few times, but the phone goes to voicemail, so she doesn't reach him. And then they like pan across the room a couple of times. I was like, what in the hell were you and Eric doing in that room? That room looked so nasty and disgusting and tore up. I was like, what in the heck? I get it, you can let things go while you're at a hotel, but my God, how did you? I don't know. All right, but then we see Eric actually comes back to the hotel, and so she asks Eric, she's like, she wants to know about the divorce. And, basically he doesn't, he has all these excuses and he doesn't really want to talk about it. And he's like, the divorce is going, it's a divorce or whatever. So, and that's kind of basically how they left them two hanging. Um, oh no, Johnny and Sean, tell me, what are you thinking? What did you guys think about Amber and Puppy this week?
Yeah, when I saw that room, well, because first I thought it was all four of the ladies was still in that room, and then
Mm.
yes, but it's four people. But nah, just the two of them. My goodness, that was a lot of.
Yeah,
That was a lot. That was a lot.
yeah.
And they were only there for how many days?
I think they said 2 days.
2 days.
But it wasn't very long. It wasn't very long at all.
I hate to see if they had to pack for a week. Look like they took the whole house with them.
Yeah.
Um,
And then as soon as they walked in there, they just opened their bags and started flinging stuff everywhere.
yeah, that's
That
what
was
this.
disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then, because he had said something. Uh, oh, he claimed that she didn't call him, and if you'd have called me, I'd have
Oh
came up.
yeah.
Now I was like, they done showed us her calling, and they're going to voice
Right.
call. So I was like, okay, so what she did? From so for there, uh, she because I do we kind of laughed at the whole thing when Amber had told her about the boyfriend, and then she
Mm.
didn't tell her. The other woman had to say, "Hey, what about your
Yeah.
boyfriend?" And then she was like, "3, huh? 3." And then it's like you can see the jealousy in her. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
but it's like, but you got a man. So what's wrong with y'all people? Y'all don't want each other to be with somebody, and you don't want to be with one another. So they're like, hey, let it go.
Yeah.
Let it
It's
go.
like both of them want to see the other one alone.
Right. I can be with someone, but you need to be by yourself when I'm with someone.
Yeah.
So you can be my fall guy, going both
Right.
ways. But other than that, they because to him it was a cop out talking about he felt like he was being attacked, and
It definitely was.
yeah, which I get it. I can agree with him. He was, but he wasn't that bad to where you had just leave the girl. Knowing then on top of leaving her, knowing that if she don't get back in time, she can go to jail. And
Hmm.
it's her responsibility because y'all both drove and you got the car to the keys to the car, so she can't just up and leave. And then she's not that type of person that would just leave you there. So
Yeah.
she tried to wait to the midnight hour before she left. You know, and so I was like, that should give her even more doubts on why she even wants to be with this person. Because if
Yeah.
he's willing to play that game and play it that close, cut it that close, then I think she might want to look for someone else. Because
Hmm.
it says she can do better. Yeah, she can do better than that because
Right.
he's showing his colors, and to me, I know every divorce is a tricky divorce, but I don't think it's that tricky with his divorce thing to where he talking about he can't talk about it. So you can't talk about it, but you on TV with a woman that's not your wife.
Yeah, and then he lives with her. So in a way, I do understand where Puppy is coming from. And then I'll speak for myself. Like when I was going through my divorce, I did date people. Luckily, I guess they felt like they saw that I was being active enough in getting my divorce where that wasn't an issue.
Uh-huh.
Um, because I do understand, like when you're going through a divorce, you are alone. As long as you can see the evidence, I feel like I don't get what is the big deal because he is on TV with her. He lives with her. So I
Right.
mean, he could still be sneaking and calling the wife, but at the end of the day, he does live with you and he is on TV with you. So with Amber and them just completely jumping down the gun. I don't really understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
No,
just my opinion. Nobody else has to agree with that.
I was leaning more to the point of him saying that he don't
Mhm.
discuss what's going on with the divorce, but you doing
Right.
everything like you're not in a marriage. You know, you do it like you what you're saying, like you actively divorcing the person because you're moving on with
Right.
your life. So if you're moving on with your life and you showing the other people, the other party, that yeah, you're moving on with your life. So the other party got evidence that okay, we're still married, but he's out here cheating. So I should be able to get this, and this because he's not faithful. And here's my proof that he's not faithful. So I'm like, so what is the big secret? Just
Yeah.
get divorced and move on with your life. You know, and let that
Right.
get married a woman or tell her, hey, I don't want to marry you. Because I can
Yeah.
see how you feel like the side chick, and ain't nothing good about being a side chick or a side
Right.
piece. You know what I'm saying? Unless you Cajun rice from Popeyes, but every Popeyes don't sell it anymore. So that's the only side piece that's good for me. That's all I got. Yeah.
Oh. All righty. Any other thoughts on Amber and Puppy this week?
That I feel like I know I just came in like I've been here the whole time, but no, I feel like that whole situation is jacked up. And like Sean said, whatever his situation is, it can't be that secretive because you are on live with a you know what I'm saying admitting that you're married and dating somebody that you're engaged to and living with. So I really don't get what his situation is, but I feel like her friends weren't wrong. Like
You know
if
what?
I
Yeah, I'm not going to say that they're wrong. What I think they're wrong for at this point is they're beating a dead horse. Like, how many times are you going to tell her? You've already told her. You see, she's still there. She's not changing her ways about it. So I don't get why every week we're seeing this.
mm, I think more of coming at him because it's like maybe if her friends are coming at him too, like either he's gonna leave, which will in turn give her that out, or um maybe he'll see like, dang, you're right, like I need to go and get this divorce. But I don't know what the deal is with it.
Well,
So
let me ask you this, Rosie. If you
mhm.
see one of your friends in a relationship or something's going on that you don't really care for, do you take it to that friend or do you take it to that guy?
I mean you take it to the friend, but
That's something else I don't agree with. I don't think they need to be taking so much to him because that's not really their place. That's her man. But hey, maybe they feel like they have that type of relationship where they could go to him. I would strictly go to my friend. I wouldn't go to her guy.
Mm-hmm.
no, I mean I can agree with that, but I mean like if you got questions and he's sitting there and allowing questions or whatever the case may be, um, I mean it's a legit question. Like, you know what I'm saying? You plan on not getting oh, B says she gotta start watching.
Is
Yeah,
that
so
B from
then
TikTok?
mm-hmm.
Hey B. This is the friend. Oh, you would tell the friend. Okay, I get you, B.
Yeah, I mean I
That's
would
why
tell
I'm
the
at
friend
too.
too. But it's like I don't know. Maybe it was to a point where, like I said, if he sat down with them and they all just having conversation, I don't know. I guess they felt comfortable to bring it up, or they just didn't care. Like they just tired of seeing him play her. I don't know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
I
don't
don't.
know.
All right. So Johnny, you've been quiet over there. Tell us your thoughts on Amber and Puppy.
Um, they have a weird. Their relationship is just weird. Um, when Puppy was asked the question if she still was in love with Amber, she couldn't answer no. So when she found out, and I get why Amber didn't tell her about her boyfriend because Puppy started acting funny. And I think that was what Amber was trying to avoid, any kind of weird interaction because she's seeing someone else. But then when they wake up, they're sleeping in the bed together, half naked.
Right.
And I'm like, what is going y'all? It's just too much confusion between the two of them. I don't know that I would be in a bed with my friend half naked like that.
Knowing that your friend wants you.
What? Yeah,
That's the other
right.
thing too.
And that you're still in love with them. Like you can't answer the question no. Because when she asked the question, she should have just said, no, I love Eric. But she didn't answer that question like that. So it was just kind of weird. The divorce thing, I mean, we didn't even know he was married last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe the wife said something, or maybe how it came about that she was finally being acknowledged this season. I don't know
No,
if that's an
or
acknowledgement you'd want, but
yeah. But
it,
maybe Puppy knew, she just didn't express it to us. But you're on the show, it's gonna come out.
yeah, so that was just kind of a shock to know that he was even married. So I think something obviously happened when Puppy went back to jail, because something must have happened with the wife in order for him to start feeling all these different ways, because he wasn't feeling that way before she went to jail. It wasn't so confusing like it is now, which it's like, well, what happened while I was gone? Because how long was she in jail? 3 months, right?
I'm not sure.
For her violation. I thought I heard like 3 months or something like that, that she was in jail for that long, and who knows what rekindled, and maybe he's in a situation where he's not sure if he can say, yes, I want to be with you, or maybe I do want to work things out with my wife, and he doesn't know how to express that. Um, that's just why as dating, I couldn't get involved with the man who's in a divorce. You're either divorced and I'll talk to you then, or you're going through a divorce and I'll let you be, and then you contact me when it's done. Because it's just too obviously he wasn't at the end of his divorce when he was telling Puppy he was getting divorced. And then to be living together with him, I don't understand why the wife isn't pushing the divorce through. So that whole situation is just crazy to me on both sides, because I can imagine watching a TV show and my husband's living with somebody and I'm still gonna hold on and try and fight for my marriage. I'd be like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
So their whole situation is just crazy. I don't get it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Lee said, "I'd rather my friend check me than take it to him." So yeah, I agree with you, Lee.
Yeah, and the whole thing with friends and talking about men, I've always been an advocate of, if you want my advice, I'll give it to you. Otherwise, I'm just here to be a supportive, listening person, because a person knows when
Yeah.
their relationship is over. You'll never be able to talk that person into getting out of their relationship. So they can keep beating the fact that he's married, this, that, and the other. She already knows. She
Yeah,
doesn't
she knows.
care. She's dealing with the pain and going through it herself. That's what she wants to deal with. When she's ready to stop, she will. So you just be that friend for her when she's finally like, yeah, I'm done. And then you be there for her, but you don't have to sit there and keep telling her something she already knows.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we got B agreeing with you. She say facts.
Thank you, B.
All right, so our next couple was Branwen and Chaz, right? So we see that Chaz is finally flying out to his woman. And so they also have a little cottage for their romantic weekend, which is filled with Branwen's friends. So we see, Branwen, it almost looked like she had just arrived, but they were making signs, happy birthday, Chaz, because it's also his birthday too. All right. And so they're making the sign, and Chaz calls her, and he's frustrated because like his flight has gotten delayed, and he ended up purchasing a ticket from another place, from another airport, and so he's trying to come in, but he's getting frustrated. And she has the phone on speakerphone, and so when she hangs up from talking to Chaz, her friend, um, the one that had on like the wig that looked like it came from Wish, her. She's like, he sounds like a bitch. I was like, wait a minute. He's frustrated. I get it. And then we know that, Chaz has had his card declined. So buying an extra ticket, that may have been taking some money that he wasn't planning on spending. So I can understand if he was, feeling some type of way. Now, old girl with that wig, I don't understand. But it is what it is. I'm going to stop talking about folks' head. So we had that. And then he calls back again to let her know some more things that he's going through on his trip. And she tells him, well, maybe you should reschedule. And he's like, no, the one thing I want most in this world is to be with you, to be having a nice, intimate, romantic time with you. And you could just see her like, it was almost like she was wincing at his words. I was like, what? Like, this is your husband.
Oh, that's funny.
At that very moment, the vibes that I got was like, okay, so Reese and Johnny, y'all all know this. Y'all have ever had this guy in your life where every time you see him, you may not see this man for 2, 3 years. And as soon as he see you, he that annoying guy that's like, where my hug at? That's what way Chaz, she was acting like Chaz was treating her like that guy. Like, you don't want to hug him. You're like, what do you mean, where your hug at? That's what I got the feeling the way she may have felt, but I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. All right, and so, and then it's like she gets off the phone with him, and it just seems like she's just making more excuses why she can't, why she doesn't want to sleep with him. Basically, she's like, "Oh my God, I just can't have sex sober." How do you know until you try? How do you really know? Do you really know? She's like, yes. I was like, I should have added you in there, B. Like, B, Johnny, and Reese. I know y'all all know that one guy that's always trying to hug on you. But yeah, she's making up all these excuses. So then we finally see them reunite, which it was cute because she actually ran up to him and hugged him. I was like, good, thank you. Finally, you're showing him some affection. And so her friends, they're still in the house when he gets there. It's like, you should have asked your friends to leave before your man got there. Like, what is going on? Do you not want to be alone with this man? Tell me. You don't want to be alone with him, do you? Okay, it's all right. It's all right, sis. I understand. And so, and so he walks into the cabin. He sees the decorations and stuff. Seems like it put him in a little bit more of a better attitude. And then they start up their mess. So they're telling him, and the one with the bad wig is crying, talking about how she doesn't want Branwen to leave, and then her daughter is there, and she's just really crying. But I actually like the response that Chaz had because Chaz was like, basically, I'm not trying to just take her away from you guys, but I'm ready to start the next, what did he call it, the next chapter in his life. And I was like, that's a great answer, and I'm glad you said it like that. So. Any other thoughts on Chaz and Branwen?
When she called him a bitch, I was like, thank you. He sounds like a bitch. What did I say last week? Baby, I don't even remember what I called him last week.
He was so whiny pants.
Yeah, baby whiny pants. There we go. He was baby whiny pants this week. I understand you can't control the flights. But his whole determination is to screw her. That's his wife. That is his wife.
It's his wife.
Spend time with her.
Make love to his wife.
No, he said screw her. His whole purpose is to screw her. He is that. To me, since dating, he is that dude that buys you dinner and feels
it's been like 2 years for him, though. I mean, and he got married, so he did the right thing. It is his right to go and get that.
Yeah, we got to think about it now. This is like the guy that's taking you out on 4 or 5 dates.
No.
He married.
And married.
Yeah,
he married you, took you on dates, bought you. He borrow some Uggs.
Yeah, he did. And
he bought her good stuff.
And he bought her hair extensions. He did.
And her eyelashes.
And her eyelashes.
Yeah.
He did not buy them food, though, because his card was declined.
Yeah.
The daughter bought the food.
The daughter bought the food.
Well, he put money on the card so she can buy her own food when he ain't there.
Yes.
And that food that she's eating with her ex-lover, he paid for it.
I can't.
With that card.
I can't.
You know what? He might have paid for her ex-lover's tattoo, too.
Might have.
I paid his car.
She might have. But it's just, I can't. There's nothing about that whole thing that I'm ready for him to get him some or anything like that. I'm just like, you're disgusting. And even as Branwen was sitting there looking, she couldn't even look him in the face. You know what? When my son confided some stuff in me about a wedding he went to, that's how I pictured the groom at that wedding. was how Branwen was looking at Chaz. She couldn't. So I was like, oh, okay. So that's what it's like to be in the presence of somebody you don't really like, but you're doing something that you're just doing whatever, and you can't look them in the face. Like, you can't look them in the face. She was looking all around. Even when she said, I'm trying to get to know you or spend time with you, she looked sideways. She didn't look him in his eyes. The body language is there. And I'm like, girl, if you just got to go ahead and give him some, which I don't want you to do, then take you a shot or do whatever that's going to calm your nerves, because he's going to be that annoying little that's just going to keep crawling on you until you give it to him. Ugh.
So, like, I'm with you, but I'm not. And this is my thing. So I'm with you in the sense of she needs to, like, he is trying to get some, but I understand why. Like, the dude did marry her. He didn't bought her stuff. He did, he held up his part of the bargain. He was there for her, like she said in the other episode where she was all like, well, I don't see myself not trying to work it out with him because he was there for me when nobody else was. And she said, you.
Exactly. Ew.
But I'm saying, but she knew what he looked like based off his pictures. So it's not like this dude, it's a surprise that he's short or that he's corny looking. It's not a surprise. You felt like, you know what I'm saying, this was a good choice for you when you was in prison. And then once you got out and had an option to say, well, let's hold off on getting married, and you ain't got married. If it wasn't what you actually wanted, she shouldn't have ran off and got married. So in my opinion, I was team Branwen in the sense of, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe because she hasn't had sex sober, she was always high or drunk or whatever the case may be, I gave her a pass. And then was like, maybe she do got some sort of anxiety because of her body and all this stuff. However, I don't know if y'all heard the recent tea.
I have heard some tea.
So the recent tea, according to Amber, I think it was, I saw it on
Clink, clink.
She out there selling her body as an escort. So that changed my whole viewpoint. If you can sell your body as an escort, then you could have gave your man some, because you don't know what you're gonna get as an escort.
Well, not only just her man, that's her husband.
But I'm saying, so your husband that you ain't attracted to, you can get an escort that's like some, you know what I'm saying, my 1,000-pound life dude that's on oxygen, you know what I'm saying? But if he didn't pay for it, you got to go sit on him and give him that, you know what I'm saying? Because he paid for it.
Right.
So
I would just,
in that case, why can't you suck it up and give it to this man who's at least done things for you that were positive, who stood by you, even if it's a one-time done, I'm gonna give you this and then I'm gonna divorce you, whatever. I feel like at this point, Chaz deserves it, regardless if he's a whiny, like, girl or whatever you want to call him, a whiny bee, whatever. He can be that, but I do still feel like as her husband, he at least deserved to hit it one time at least.
Baby whiny
and
pants.
I'm with you on that, Ricky, because I'm gonna tell you.
Because how you gonna do with that 1,000-pound life? They ain't getting up.
Right. So that's my thing.
They need somebody to scoop them up and put them on something to get them out the house. As a matter of fact, we got to cut the walls out. You know how that junk goes. So therefore, I said 1,000 pounds. That's 600. So 1,000. I don't even know what that's like, but
a walrus.
That's all kinds of nastiness.
Elephant laying on its back.
Yeah. With all kind of sores and everything else. You don't know what you're gonna get as an escort. Not since I've seen somebody who's fine or something like that ain't paying for no escort.
Yeah, and Reese, that's where I agree with you on, because for you to be able to sleep with somebody you don't know at all, somebody who's just walked into a hotel room and gave you some money or however way she got her money, but if you can manage to check out to sleep with men for money, you can't, I hate to say check out and sleep with your husband, but you don't know how to get your mindset and your body right to sleep with a man that you married. That's where my confusion is at. I don't understand it, but maybe
because I mean, you can't control if the person that's coming in is corny or is ugly or
if they got moles or warts on them.
That might be somebody who ain't took showers in weeks. You know what I'm saying? But if they come in, they didn't pay for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like they pay for their service and you give up that service. That's the risk you take doing escort, hooker, and whatever you want to call it.
Well,
You know what I'm
what
saying?
escort website is this? Because they might actually be good, decent men. Like, it ain't a man that you met in the street corner. Hello?
I don't really
But
think
how do we
that
know
good,
that it's
decent
not men from the
men.
street corner going onto that
I'm
website?
sorry. I feel
At
like
the end of the day, it's still somebody she don't know.
and then I
It
think it'd be like
but it
these
could be a
great.
millionaire she don't know. I mean, we don't know what escort site it is. Those kind of
But a lot.
websites,
But look
they
at
vet those
who
men.
you
She said
see.
everybody
I know, that's why I was like, no.
But look at who you see. Like you see, like when you hear about that stuff, you hear like the old president. You hear like Weinstein. You know what I'm saying? You hear about some people
Trump.
that. That's what I said. The old president. But I'm saying you hear people like that be on them websites and junk, like, and they're millionaires or billionaires, whatever. But
They
the
still
other
don't
All
look
the more people, all the more reason to sleep with somebody who's gonna come in 2 seconds.
he will
You
too.
pay
He will too.
$2,000.
Yeah, he
He
will
will
too. We
too.
discussed that last week.
We don't know that.
Jackrabbit.
He might be the little engine that could.
No,
He
he's
might
a
be
Hey.
the chugga
jackrabbit.
chugga chug.
He's a
And if
jackrabbit.
she
You know,
got
Johnny, I can't agree with you.
experience doing what she
That man
do,
is
then
a
I'm sure she can make that
jackrabbit
little
if I
engine
ever
go.
saw one in
Chug,
my
chug,
life.
chug, chug.
I don't know. I don't know what her preference is. Don't mean to say nasty bodied. Exactly. They have
But we
more
don't know
money.
though. That's the problem, is you don't know what you're getting being in them services.
No, with escort services, you do see the men who are paying for you.
No,
Yeah,
they
but I'm
just
saying,
send
but
you
it
that
ain't
type.
guaranteed it's somebody that's your type.
Yeah, because like on the Heidi Fleiss movie, like the men dealt with the madam, and then they send them somewhere to go meet the girl.
And
That's
she
what I
got
saw in
like
that movie.
her junk was like on some little website, and she was like she down for like couples. She down for like apparently what they said, like her junk wasn't like no strict like you need to look good, you need to have money. Her prices weren't even expensive if you ask me.
Who, Brandon or
Yeah,
Heidi Fleiss?
yeah. If you watch that thing, I don't think she was pulling out quality millionaires and things like that.
Huh.
She was
I
pulling
have
out
to watch
chances.
it. She was still, oh,
That's what I'm saying. Like her
seriously.
website is not like it was promoting
I
you gotta be this or that. Like they were like just basic. It sounded like you could have been a basic. I could have went and ordered her.
well, all I can say is I truly honestly think it was the insecurity that did it. I will stick with that for the rest of the time that they are together. She was cool up until he became
B
insecure.
is funny.
That is what happened. Till she had to constantly defend herself, till she had to constantly explain to him things. I just honestly think that was the turnoff, and she can't get past it. There are points where you just can't get past it. That's where you would just need to say, look,
I think
I
it's his
can't
height
get past
too.
this and the other. We really need to just annul this and be done.
I
That's
think
what she
it's
really needs to say to him.
it's his
Because
height
the
too.
excuses she's given is like, oh, come on, girl.
It's
Like
over. But
I think like she realized she could pick him up like they do in them TikTok videos. She can pick him up and put him on the wall, and I don't
she
think she
just
like
put him
that.
on the countertop.
Yeah, she can pick him up and put him on the countertop, and she don't like that. And she
Yeah.
said he's not aggressive enough, and like every time he whines and complains, it just reminds her how non-aggressive he is.
Yeah,
And
just
it probably
imagine
puts the
it.
picture in her head of her picking him up and putting him on that countertop, and she's like, I really could do that, and it's probably unattractive. It
You
really
know
is.
what? And
Yeah.
then maybe she was turned on at first because he's in that, what's that game?
That rock
That
band.
garage band. He's like in a real life garage band. Maybe that was a turn on for her at first until,
Well,
she
and then
got around
she
him.
said she prayed for somebody sweet, and this is who it seemed that God put in her path. But and he may actually be like great, like he may actually get in there and be the best she ever had, but she ain't gave the man a chance. So I almost feel like I mean,
Guitar.
you saying
I'm
it.
sorry, Lucy. It just popped in my head. Guitar Hero. That's what I was trying to say.
I mean, he could be. He could be. We
He
don't know.
could be.
You can't underestimate somebody by looks.
Oh yes, you can.
You may not be attracted, but it doesn't mean that person
Yeah,
couldn't necessarily be the best person you ever had in your life in bed, because you don't know.
But you can kind of get some vibes of a man that's breaking backs. And that's the problem. The ones that are truly out here giving us the vibes that they're breaking backs, they are breaking backs. And they're also making us lose our minds. That's the ones who be living in your house, driving your car, doing all the crazy stuff. But looking at Chaz, I do not look at him and say, you know what, when Branwen finally gets it, he's going to break her back. I'm not
No,
seeing
it's gonna be 2 minutes or 2 seconds or
that.
a half a second. We don't know. Like I feel like it's gonna be extra quick and it's gonna probably be terrible, but after that it might be better. I don't know. We don't know. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm she the one that went and married him. I wouldn't have married him. But she
Yeah,
did
she
that.
did
You
it.
know what I'm saying? She did that willingly. When she came out of prison, she could have said, "Nah, let's wait a little bit. Like, let's wait till after I come out probation." She didn't want to rush into that so that she could move to Kentucky or wherever he's at. She didn't have to do that. She made that choice. So, in my
Yeah.
opinion, you you done ran over here and did this. So don't try to act like the dude's so nasty now because you seen the pictures of him when you was in jail. You seen the picture. You know what I'm saying? That dude look
Right.
exactly like he does in person that he did in his pictures. Only thing is he just super short. And she probably, I'm sure he explained, I'm only 5'4". Like
No,
she knew.
she knew.
What is
She
he?
knew.
5'4", 5'5", 5'6"?
Yeah, she totally knew all that. And like I said, as soon as you see, she was so
He ain't catfishing.
excited. She was super excited when they got married. Everything was great, but it was when he started whining, when she had to move in with that guy. What was it, her friend's husband? Who
Baby
was the
daddy.
guy
Her
yeah,
Her
friend's
she
baby
was
friend's baby
living
daddy.
daddy.
with her
Yeah.
friend's baby daddy. Then that insecurity started kicking in. Then the other insecurity started kicking in about the guy friend she had who he checked or who he thought he checked. And then all the other stuff that just started piling on after that. And it was just like, what the hell did I do?
But in
You know
his
what I'm
defense,
saying?
like honestly, like if I'm finna be with you, you get straight out of jail, you go in there and you living with I don't care if that's who you living with this dude who obviously I ain't gonna say he looked better than him, but maybe he feel like he do. I don't know. Whatever the
No,
case
he's
may
just
be,
taller than him,
the dude
which
who
is
don't
all the
even want
reason
you
why.
in the house, who said you ain't allowed to be in the house for real like that. You know what I'm saying? This dude that says me as your husband can't be in the house. I mean as your wife, I guess I should say since I'm a woman, me as your wife can't be in this house. That right there is a red flag for me. I'd be like, that's weird.
Yeah.
And then yeah, he overreacted with the phone call, but when he shows up and then her ex is there and he didn't know he was gonna be there, like that's weird. Like so I feel like he had some justifications on some of the things that happened for him to feel insecure or weird because it's like this dude brand new to this. He coming to see you and then I'm dealing with all of this day one. Then it's like, oh, but you actually can't come to the house and because he doesn't want me to have company. And then, oh, and I also can't come hang out with you for long because I'm on this curfew. But you can't stay the night with me, even though you came all the way down here to get me out. We ran and got married. But yeah, we're not gonna do nothing because um this guy said you can't come over and stay with us and I can't stay out late. You know, it's things to me that in my opinion, he has the right to be insecure. And I feel like she created them insecurities for her because I mean, obviously she's out of his league and he's already insecure about that. So then it's like you created these other insecurities. Like, what do you expect for somebody who you know is like a little nerd, little, you know what I'm saying? You knew this dude was like a little, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if he in a little garage guitar band, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You knew this dude was like a little nerdy dude that, you know what I'm saying?
And then the other thing that I just can't get over myself is that she is so friendly with this guy, Aaron, that she did. How much time? Wasn't it like 10 years that she just did for this
Hmm.
man? And when you see him, look, I would have been flying through the prison gates, ran past Chaz to immediately start choking on Aaron. But it's like you're just so cool with this man that sent you,
Good
what do
time
they
for
call it, up
him.
the river, up the creek? I don't know.
Yeah, because she took the
So,
fall or whatever for him, right?
mhm. Yeah, so for me,
Supposedly,
that
yeah.
would have been a red flag for me.
Yeah. So it's either you lied about what happened or lied about how you feel about him. And apparently
Yeah,
he was in the other,
I'm telling you,
he was at
I
her
would have
house
instantly,
while watching the
yeah,
thing while calling your husband weird. So
right.
I'm
Hmm.
like,
Or I
she,
might have ran up to Chaz, hugged him, kissed him, and I'm like, will you hand me your car keys real quick? And tried to run over Aaron. I, I don't understand it. I don't. I, maybe it's not meant for You don't understand. I don't know. But Sean has been awfully quiet over there.
He let us just go on our rant.
Oh,
Yeah, I said a lot.
okay.
I said a lot. So I'll be quick. Uh, if she don't want to, just get an annulment and move on. Problem solved. Because the whole had the friends in there. She didn't want to be left alone with the man. Now
She's
I
letting her
don't.
friends call him a bitch. I
Yeah.
mean, Sean.
And you did, and you on the conversation with your husband on speaker with all your friends there. Now I get that we supposed to be there, because the producers got to show the stuff. She could have walked into another room and give her husband some respect. She don't respect him. She don't respect him. She don't love him. She don't want to be with him. So just walk away, And since this escorting thing is, if that's true, maybe she might find someone there that can help her get what she wants, because obviously she's not going to get it. Well, who knows? I don't. I would advise her not to go to Kentucky because, like we said last week, she go to Kentucky, she's gonna be isolated. They're gonna cause her to fall into other stuff. But seeing how she's still where she at, and she still fell into the other stuff, she might need to leave. But that's something that she needs to work on. But as far as the marriage goes, if she don't want to be married, if she don't want to have sex with her husband, then she need to leave her husband and let that man go so he can go work on wife number 6 or
Mhm.
7, whichever one it is.
Isn't it
So
5?
He on 5 right
He's
now.
fine.
he's on 5 now. So yeah, so
Oh,
go work on wife number 6. Uh, and the if she is doing the escorting thing and she having sex, I think that she probably having sex using drugs or whatever she's using, because she says she never had sex sober. So maybe this is her way to have sex because she wants to not be sober. And she wants to have sex with her husband sober, but since she lost interest in him, then she's not going to have sex with him at all. So, but she do want to have sex. So in order for her to do it, she got to get sober. I don't understand her mindset, but she want to have sex, but she can't have it unless she's not sober. So, like I said, I understand her mindset, but if she wants to, I just say leave and then just let that go. Cause
So, Sean, I have a question for you.
yeah,
So, what did you think about her friend that looked disgusted? Like he just really want to come here and sleep with you. What did you think about
you know what? I didn't want to get into that with you last week, but since she
that?
said
I
that
keep,
comment,
you know,
since
I'm not
she
gonna stop, Sean.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
not
know
gonna
you're not,
stop.
but I'm coming on board now. I'm coming on board with you.
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
with
Finally, I broke
you.
you
Yeah,
down. Yes.
yeah, you did because I didn't like the way she had said what she said that he only want to have sex with you. That's her husband,
Her husband.
Right.
and what husband don't want to have sex with their wife that they're attracted to and love. Now, if you don't love your wife, because I know some people out here that's just married because they're waiting till that last child turned 18, but there's no love there, so
Mhm.
and they're not in a hurry to go home to be with their wife, and their wife and them is in the same
Bring them
city.
to.
Now, this here joker here is a couple of states away, and he went on his birthday wanting to spend time with his wife, and plus also a married man want to have sex with his wife on his birthday because he expect to do strange things on his birthday with his
Yeah.
wife that his wife normally wouldn't do on a regular day because this
He
is his
wants that
birthday.
birthday cookie, and
That's
she
right.
did a birthday cookie.
So
That
so
don't
Yeah.
sound like
look,
birthday cookie. That's like birthday cookie with frosting dipped upside down with chocolate and then rolled in some sprinkles and then twirled and that. What? Why is he
that's
doing
right.
strange
All
stuff
that
in
because
here?
it's his birthday. It's his birthday. So of course he want to have sex. So
Yeah, he
she
wants a
need to
birthday
go
friend.
ahead
Yeah.
on and take that old nasty wig off and stop shopping at 21 and beyond
Forever
or
21.
Forever 21. You know what I'm saying? Go to the thrift store and buy some old clothes or something. Look your age,
She
dress your age.
can't. She's addicted to Hot Topic.
Well,
She
she need
can't.
to stop it. She need to let it go. She let it go. No. Why she dressing like that? She trying to get herself a man
Come
so
out the
she
friend.
can have a man.
Yes. The
Yeah.
one
So
with
why
the
that man can't
cheap
have sex?
Party City wig.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, you need to be more concerned with your wig than what this woman is doing.
That's right.
That was just,
And then she had the audacity to sit up there and fake like she was crying as she done call this man.
yeah.
So what? You faking? Ain't no tears came out of your eyes. She
Mhm.
just,
Uh-huh.
don't take my friend away from me. Oh, come on. Nah. Maybe she don't want the friend to go because she know if they go together to the club, she get the leftovers. The friend to bring everybody over. She can get a drink with the club with the on her friend person. So yeah, she lost me. She lost me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So say whatever you want to say about it. I agree with you. Yeah. Let it go. Let it go.
I'm
Go
glad
stop
you came
35.
on over. I'm
She need to
glad
shop
you
at
came on
55
over.
and over.
I'm glad. I'm proud
Yeah.
of you, Sean.
Uh-huh.
I have a feeling that was hard for you to do.
Yeah, it
Now,
was.
the next couple,
I didn't know that girl. I'm sorry.
Taylor Chance. So the scene opens very sadly. Bobby has overdosed. Okay. And apparently Chance was the one who found her, and he claims he stayed with her. He was right there with her until the ambulance came. Basically he saved her life. Kind of knock it off, Chance. Knock it off. And so, we see Taylor. She arrives back home she went to the hospital trying to see Bobby, but she can't see her, I guess because of COVID, so she can't go into the hospital and see her. So she's back home, and
That
yeah,
scene made me
V
so angry.
is cleaning and listening. Go ahead and do what you got to
Appreciate
do.
you.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, and so she's sitting on the step and she's talking about, oh, I almost lost my sister. That's why you gotta be mindful of how you treat people. Think about it. What if you had a lost your sister and she out there sleeping on that skunk infested couch out in the garage? And so Chance said something that's rubbed me the wrong way. He
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh, me too.
he said, well, actually, he said two things that rubbed me the wrong way. He was like, Bobby, I mean, Taylor, do you think, she did drugs because I fixed up that room for her and she just had extra freedom? I'm like, you think she was excited about that room and decided to do some drugs? If she did drugs because of that room, it's because she was so depressed.
She didn't want to see it in its real like original stage. She had to be high to stay out there.
I know. Exactly. And so, and so he also describes to us his overdose. Oh, I forgot he had said this too. So he was like, yeah, I overdosed. I blacked out. I fell out and I woke up with a blue face. How do you know your face was blue? How do you know you woke up with a blue face? I don't know. I don't know. I guess that's the conversation I need to have with him. And then he starts up this whole making himself the victim. So he's like, which I mean, it's partly true, but you're using this to make the situation be about you. He was kind of like, well, what if, I got violated because she had drugs on the property? He's like, I could have went back to jail. I could have went back to prison. They would have violated me. Then Taylor's like, yeah, I could have lost my kids. And la, la, la. You're with a man who had a drug addiction. Do you think it's not possible that he couldn't bring drugs in your house on his own? There's a possibility he could relapse at any time. So if you're really worried about that situation, why is he there? But I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Alrighty. So anybody else has any?
Oh my gosh. Can I go on this one?
Okay, you ready,
So
Racy?
yes. Oh my god. So there's this today. Or today. I watched it today, sorry. So it made me so upset. And so where I will say I understand what they had, the points they had with he could have went to jail and she could have lost because those are valid. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take that away from them because if she is overdosing and it was on her, she brought drugs in. It wasn't that somehow it got slipped in her because we don't know what happened actually at this point. But because I was even thinking like, what if somebody like Ruth, like gave her some stuff
Yeah,
and she
I
didn't really,
actually thought that for a second. I'm like, Chance
yeah,
was the one who found her. Are you
yeah,
sure
yeah.
he
And I
didn't
feel like
put
did
anything
he
on
do
her hand?
something? Like, could it be something, some fishiness going on? But regardless. Whether she did it on her own or whether it was a setup, whatever the case may be. It is, and I mean, he's a risk as well, but if he is living right, then that is unfair, like that she would do that in that house, knowing that that girl got 3 kids and could lose her kids. Because at the end of the day, that's what's the to me, the number one thing is that Taylor doesn't do drugs. She's not doing anything wrong. But if she lose her kids because of them, like that's kind of messed up. But she is putting herself in a situation by having a sister who has a drug problem, as well as a fiance who potentially could relapse, but had previous drug and you know what I'm saying, all those issues. So what they said on those in those moments were valid, because she could have lost her sister, lost her fiance, and lost her kids all in one swoop because of what happened with the sister. So that's valid. I'm not gonna invalidate that at all, because it is.
I just felt the way that
part-
Chance was saying it, it just came off very
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna get to, is when he was saying it, he was like, what I didn't like was that he was like, you know, I remember back when I OD'd and this and that, and you know, in the way he said it, like, you know, I agree with you. How do you know how you were unless somebody told him? I don't know, because he made it sound like he was alone too. So I was kind of confused on his story. But when he said that, you know, he wants to be there for Bobby because he understands. He's like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I want to be here for Bobby. But then I feel like he said all this stuff that sound like, you know, we need to help Bobby through this because I know what it's like. But then at the same time, he was like, but her doing that could have caused you to lose me. Could have caused you to lose your kids. So I feel like he used it as a way to push Bobby out some more. And that's what I didn't like. Because I'm like, for a second, you sound sentimental or like you cared, but then it's like your motive came out and your true feelings that you don't want her there came out, and you're saying that you want to be there for Bobby as a default, like because that's what she wants to hear, and you know that the sister wants to be there for him. But I feel like he's not being sincere, and he's saying he want to be there, but he was like, but what about your kids? What about those are valid points, but the way he did it to me sounds like you're just pushing Bobby out. And once Bobby sees that, it's not gonna make her feel comfortable or good about being in that environment. But it's like, you know, I don't know. I just didn't like the way he did it and the way he said it. Cause to me, it sounded like it went from being caring to that's your motive. You want her gone. And that's what I didn't like about their scene this week, because I was like, yeah, the Chance is still being Chance. Like he's not sincere for real. He don't really care about that girl. He probably could care less if she. I ain't even gonna say he could care less necessarily if she died, but it'd be easier on him if she had died. I don't know. And then if she leaves, he's good with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he really cares. He wants to make Taylor happy, but he wants Taylor to himself, and that's it. Just him, Taylor, and the girls, and that's it. Period. But that's what I got, because he kind of annoyed me this week, as he does most weeks, but he really annoyed me with that fake sentimental junk, because his motive for me came out.
All right. All right, Sean and Johnny.
Yeah, I agree with the statement that is validated, and how she said all what would happen if the cops, you know, he could have went to jail, could have lost the kids, you know, all that stuff there. But since that didn't happen, I was wondering, did they find anything? You know, did they find anything on the grounds, or you know, just going out left field? The fact that she was staying in that unfinished garage, maybe there was some type of fumes in there that could have got her to get high, or you know, cause her OD or whatever. You know, just going out there. But because if they'd have found her, they would have pressed charges against her. And then also they probably would have had been, okay, we're going to send whoever needs to come out here to check the house out and see if your house is in good condition. Or they would have said that it was warned, they got a warning. So since they didn't mention they got warned about anything, so I was like, well, did they really find anything on the premise? But Chaz, I saw that too, as he was taking advantage of the opportunity. He presented the opportunity, and he's like, okay, I'm going to spin this here so that I don't have to finish that garage because I'm way over my head. This is too much work. So what if Bobby don't come back? In other words, that's all he wanted to say. It'd be easier for us that she don't come back because if she come back and she relapse, then you might lose your kids, and most importantly, you're going to lose me. And I really don't want you to lose me because of something your sister is doing. So, I think he just planted that seed in her, and we're going to see how that goes from there because I didn't, at first, I did sense it that he was being considerate, and then he just took it away quick, fast, and hurry, and it's all about him. And I can say, well, I'm not gonna say. My opinion is that the daughter, the one where the dad is still alive,
Mm-hmm.
if once he get Bobby out the picture, I can see he's trying to get her out the picture too, and slowly but
He
surely
probably will,
get
because
the
he's trying to isolate
right far for herself.
Taylor and those girls.
Yeah. So that's my opinion on him. He's just being shady. He's all about himself. What's best for him. Yeah.
All right, so Johnny, do you have any thoughts on Taylor and Chance?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, so the next couple was Brittany and Marcelino. Right. All right. So we see like they're driving, they go to this car wash, and Brittany tells Marcelino, hey, I got a phone call that I need to take soon, and I don't have any service inside this car wash. So he's like, okay, well, get out the car. Which is crazy. And then we see him, he's texting with somebody, and he's like, hey, I need to talk to somebody outside of the house. I'm like, why is he being such a jerk right now? But whatever. And, basically he said he needs somebody to talk to. And so they discuss their counseling session. And then we see Brittany's mom comes over to babysit the kids. And we see that Brittany, she's out hanging with the girls. And when I say the girls, I'm talking about her friends. So she tells them about Marcelino's attitude and stuff. And so one of her friends is like, do you think he's cheating? Oh, I forgot to mention, she's actually hanging out with one of her friends and also the girl that they had the three-way with. Right. All right. And so the other girl is like, do you think he's cheating? And she starts telling them, well, basically he's not sleeping with me. He's looking at pictures and porn, but, he doesn't want to touch me. And so the girl that they had the three-way with, I don't know why I cannot remember that girl's name. She's like, Brittany, I got something to tell you. She was like, Marcelino has been texting me. I thought it was maybe you and him texting me. And so, but now I'm going to show you what he's been texting me. Now, at that moment, I believed her. I was like, oh, okay. You know, but now she's going to show us and we're going to see what the text messages were. So the text messages were like, hey, I'm disappointed. I thought I gave you some good D. Why would you think that's Brittany texting you? and then, and it's funny because Marcelino, he's texting with her, but it's always about the D. Like one time she was saying she was stressed because her mom was sick, and it was like, oh, I know you're stressed out, but some D will help you feel better. You thought that was your friend Brittany saying that to you. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of their scenes. You know, I did like the fact that when Brittany was talking, she was saying how upset she is with Marcelino that he did that. She was like, yeah, she's mad at her friend, but she's more mad at Marcelino. I was like, finally, a woman that gets it. Because you should be mad at her because that girl was being deceptive too. Because she knew good and well that wasn't you. She knew that. And I'm going to stick with that. But I don't know. That's just my opinion about it. Okay, so Johnny, Reese, and Sean, Brittany and Marcelino this week. What did y'all think?
I don't think she gave Marcelino credit when she was talking to her friends. She said he's doing nothing to help this. He's going to counseling. So I don't know that that's nothing. She just ruined her relationship by having that three-way. Shouldn't
Yeah.
have had a three-way with somebody you know, and
Right.
you shouldn't have had it with your husband.
Yeah.
I don't have
And
much
maybe
sympathy
yeah, and
there.
then maybe she thought it was safe because he didn't have her friend's number, but he found her friend on Instagram. Because remember, she was like, "Well, can I see the messages so I can see his phone number?" So I did like that when the girl approached her, she did say that, so it wasn't an automatic, "Oh, my man ain't ish." She did kind of give him the benefit of the doubt with that. I did like that she did do that. She tried to give him that, but nah, he on Instagram all in somebody's DM trying to give away the D.
Well, but then do we know that it was him on Instagram? Can't people create fake Instagram accounts?
I mean, they can in theory they can.
So I guess she would need to find his, I mean, he gives her access to his phone. So I guess she would need to log into his Instagram to make sure it was him and no
That's
one
what I'm about
else.
to say, and that could be another reason why the messages were on Instagram because he felt like if she was gonna look through his phone, she'd look through the call log and text messages. So maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess
Well, but she found his porn, so she's looking through his phone looking for stuff. I'm kind of surprised she didn't look at his Instagram, because
hmm,
isn't that where it all goes down in the DM? Hey, y'all did that to me again. Hello?
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Right.
you have any other thoughts
DM.
about Brittany and Marcelino and this situation? Do
Um,
you believe the friend that she thought it was Brittany and Marcelino texting her? Anybody? Even in the
no,
audience?
she know that
Y'all
was just
believe?
Marcelino.
Yeah.
If she believed it was anybody, she believed it was Marcelino. Now, if this is a fake person that created an account and was messaging her, that's a whole different story. But either way, the fake person or the real person, it's obvious that it's just Marcelino because it was never like we wanted you to be pleased. It was like
Aye.
I'm disappointed that you didn't like the D. Come and
Yeah.
get this D. Do you want more D? Here's D. You feeling sad? I got D. You know what I'm saying? It was never
Yeah.
we got some D and some P for you. It was just
And
Yeah,
D.
because it was never any girl on girl stuff
Yeah,
being
yeah,
discussed there.
yeah. It was
right.
all about him and what he could offer and how upset he was about. And then to me, why are you even talking back to that account about your personal business when you got Brittany's number? Like, if to me, if I felt like that was them, but yet I keep getting all these comments about just the D. I probably would have told Brittany. I would have messaged her because that's my friend, like her phone, and be like, "Girl, I'm so stressed about what's going on with A, B, and C. My mom, whatever she was saying." I wouldn't have been talking on Instagram to somebody who keeps talking about D to me because I feel like this. Obviously, this is like the place for us to just talk about nastiness, not real
That's
life. So I don't know. So I mean, I think she need to check both of them
yeah,
because
and then I also feel like the friend only came forward because I feel like because Brittany's sitting there telling you, well, I go through his phone and he's only doing la la la. So it's like, what if she finds the Instagram messages? Let me go ahead and say this
that's
now.
true. That's true
That's
too.
part
Right.
of
Because
what I'm
that's
saying.
the whole thing with that we always get annoyed with is the timeline. Because she
Right.
said back in January. So when was this meeting? Because back in January, if somebody slid in my DMs after we had a threesome, I'd be like, hey, is this I'm kind of getting weirded out because your husband's texting me. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
like
saying?
is this
Like,
him or is
is this
this
him? Is this a fake
or
account? Because I don't want to cause any friction between us. What we did was once, it ain't happening again, blah, 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 blah. Like I wouldn't have held on to that for months and then brought it
Mhm.
up later. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Mhm.
like you said, Nene, like she kept it a secret because at the end of the day, we have to still remember she wants Brittany back too.
But that would have been an easy way to get her back. Like you shared it, hey, your husband trying to holler at me, so you might want to see what's up with your husband. You know what I'm
Not if
saying?
you're
I feel
trying to
like,
build it up. Like if you're
yeah,
trying to
true.
build it up or set him up,
True.
you know what I'm saying? I would think that's a good
Which
way
I
to do
bet
it
it's
too.
gonna come out that ain't even him. No,
Mm.
but the person knew. Well, no, we all knew because we all watched it on
Watch the
TV.
Watch.
show.
Yeah.
So yeah, never mind. I mean, that could be a fake account. I bet you it's probably gonna
Well,
turn out
the
that
only the only
it,
thing though is if We don't know, like, if this was this January or the previous January. So at the point that she got the messages, had the threesome aired yet?
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Mhm.
So I don't know. But either way, she's not a good friend in my opinion, because
No.
it looks like Johnny said, you're trying to cover your tracks now that you think like, uh-oh, she might actually go, and what if she come across these messages? Let me just go ahead and disclose this. Or you should have come to her in the beginning, like she also said, and just been like, hey, I don't know if this is a fake account, this is real, or if this is Marcelino, like something ain't right. This is making me feel weird. Even if she had to let the first message go and the next one came, you know, you saying, I'm going through this, and then he's just throwing his D at you again. It's like, wait, okay, who is this? Because, you know, why would Marcelino be acting like that too? Like, I feel like at least have a
Right.
conversation with the girl.
Right. And then
Also,
on top
it's
of
weird.
that, it seems kind of random that all of a sudden, because remember, he didn't even like her like that anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Like
said
he
he didn't
wasn't,
like her like
he
that.
didn't like her
But
like that. So
But
then
you know,
all of a sudden he's
prior
throwing
to the
his
sex
D at her
though,
like that.
prior
That
to
but
the sex
seems a little
though,
weird too.
but you remember
prior
when
to
he
sex.
said Brittany was doing too much, so maybe, and he also felt at the same time that Brittany wasn't feeling him per se, so maybe those things were in what's going on in his mind a little bit, you know, like
Yeah, I mean, I
like my
think she
wife
probably
is
just got into
into me,
that.
but yeah,
She got into that role of female on female too hard, and he probably was like, "Oh no, no,
Yeah,
this
your
is
D
something
didn't
you I
do
don't even like."
anything.
Yeah, and then maybe, like I said, when he came into the when he got into the picture during that moment, and she didn't act the way she acted with her girl, and it's like, "Oh no." So I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, obviously there's still something up, whether this is gonna turn out to be nothing, because we know how their situations do turn out to be nothing a lot of times.
right.
What we like, for some reason they like to build them up and it's actually pretty fake or nothing. But I mean, if he is cheating, I will say she kind of brought it on herself by forcing this threesome on him. And it probably showed a side of their relationship that he never saw. And he didn't like what he saw. So now at this point, if he's unhappy or if he's like, hey, I just can't do this no more, I'm not attracted to you no more after seeing the threesome, then it's kind of on her. Like, she can't be upset because you did keep pushing it. Like, she pushed that joint hard.
She did.
And it's like, if you messed your marriage up with doing that, because you didn't let it be something that they wanted, you talked him into it.
Yeah.
So it ain't like the other couples, you know, who they're planning it. Like, let's bring a girl in, you know. That wasn't part of their deal. They're married, you know, and it wasn't like we're married, but we can bring in others together a plan. It's like she picked the person and was like, I want to bring this person specifically in, who is happen to be somebody you was in love with. You know, I'm like, so to me, she made it awkward by bringing in a woman that meant something
That
to her
she
too.
was into, yeah.
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 And then if he
And it
did
was
enjoy
her
it from the
ex.
other woman, you might have messed up, because obviously if you that sprung on her, why couldn't that woman turn your man out too? Like, she should have
Right.
been aware of that too. Like, he might really be like, please let me give you this D, because man, I can prove it to you that this is what you want, because I want to hit that again. And if that's the case, shame on her, because you
Yeah,
knew that
she gotta
girl
be
had
careful.
good.
Yeah, she should have been careful because your man could turn into a Chaz for another woman.
Yeah, because if the girl got you sprung, why couldn't she spring him?
Yeah.
Mm. And then now your man is over here begging another woman.
Yeah, and he was like, man, I just need it one more time, please.
Mm.
She
Yeah.
like, but I'm
He's
going
like, I'm
through
sorry. Look, he's
this.
like, I'm sorry you
My
got in that car accident. I got something that'll make your back feel better. Because that's how he was responding to her.
yeah,
Remember,
yeah.
our mom is sick
I
and you
just lost
offering
all
us.
these family members to this horrific thing. Well, this will cheer you up. This deep.
I know.
I promise. That's how it felt like that.
That's how he was responding to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, you hear that? Like, I felt like he was being weird, in my opinion. I would have said something. He's been weird.
I would have totally said something as soon as the first text popped up about not giving the D good. So then I would have been like, why would you tell him I said he didn't give it good? You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Yeah,
because
how did he
obviously
know?
there
Unless
was a
you went back and told him.
conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, I told you that. I told you. I shared that with you. You gonna go back and tell
Right.
him
You
I
were
got
not
it.
gonna
Y'all
tell
talk
him
about
that.
everything, but you have to talk about that.
Now you sitting there for to have him trying to prove it to me that he can do better.
Yeah, yeah. So why would you? Yeah, why
That's
would you go
funny.
and tell him that? And then
Right.
she'll be like, I never told him that.
And he'd
Wait,
be like,
why is he saying this to you? Now, hey, now we got to open dialogue. Now
Now
I
you
can
got
show you
that
the text message
dialogue
and everything
open.
else.
But that's
right.
exactly how I would have started that conversation. Hey,
Yeah,
I told you that in confidence.
yeah. Yeah, you got this man over here acting like he got a point to prove. Why would you do that? You
You
know I don't
know,
want to sleep with him again.
I don't
Right.
because it was trash. I'm glad you like it.
Keep that trash D to yourself.
You
I'm glad
know?
I
you
told you
married.
that.
I'm glad you married that trash G and took it off the market. Like,
Ah,
see,
she
but
like, I
that's
told you this. You gonna tell him. Why
yeah.
would Brittany go and tell him that? She wrong too.
Hmm?
So now the friend got a bone to pick with her, because why would
All
Brittany
three
do
of
that?
y'all just wrong.
Yeah, everybody wrong. Everybody wrong. Yep.
That's absolutely. So Sean, he's been over there quiet.
Oh, I don't have nothing to say on this one. I have nothing to say because I'm thinking that the he need to talk to someone on the outside.
Uh huh.
I don't think he's cheating with that one. It'd probably be just he need to talk to someone that's
Okay.
on the outside of the
I mean,
relationship
and that could be true. Yeah.
Yes.
So
because how
so
we
what?
build things up. So
Yep. It's gonna be
So
something fake.
yeah.
what do you think about all of these messages where he's just offering to be up to this girl every chance he get, every sentence?
Well, that's too because like Johnny had pointed out was that it happened in January. So
Mm-hmm.
did it one time in January, or is this here since January? What's the timeline of
Well,
all
I think she was saying the first message came in January, or was she saying
this?
all of them? I took it as the first one came in January.
Okay, I took it as all of them happened in January.
I did too. I took it all of them happened this time ago, but I wasn't sure
Mhm.
if it was you guys. And then that was the other thing. Like, it would just be helpful to know: are we in February? Are we in March? We know it's still kind
Mhm.
of cold because when she was leaving out, she had on boots and stuff. But then again, people in California
Oh no,
think
they're in
70
Vegas.
degrees is cold. So they, we don't know what
Yeah.
time of year it is there.
Yeah, but
Uh,
see, they're in Vegas. Yeah,
oh, okay. So they could probably think like that too.
yeah.
That 70
Hey,
degrees
and
is
that's the
cold and they're
thing.
wearing fur
When
boots.
it gets cold in Vegas, like when you've been in 100 and something degree weather and then it just shifts out of nowhere, it is actually cold. It does
Is
feel
it?
cold. And then
Um,
sometimes the coldness in Vegas too, it's like that cold that just cuts through. Like when it's cold there, it's cold. I'm like, it's annoyingly cold because it's dry and it's like super windy and ain't nothing you can do. It cuts through your jacket, it cuts through everything. And you like, come on now.
I didn't realize that. I guess because you always think of desert, you think hot.
No, it gets colder.
So
You see at
it'd be
night,
nice to
but
know
mostly
time
cold.
frames. They kill me with the time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So, Sean, I have a question for you in the chat now. Do you believe the friend when she says that she thought those messages was coming from Brittany and Marcelina? Did you believe that? Oh no. And if you do, help me understand.
No, I don't believe that. I believe she knew it was just him, and also like how y'all brought up the way of bringing in Brittany. Um, she should have brought it up to her friend. She should have told her from the jump some kind of way. The examples that y'all gave that would have been great, and then they could have went from there. And then she could have solved the problem. And who knows, their marriage might be better off now because she would have known that it was the threesome that it went south from.
Yeah.
Or it could have
Should have
been
known that.
like, okay, let's try again. So since you is into it and she wants to be with her friend, so she'd be like, well, since you sending these text messages, obviously you like it too. So let's go ahead on and get round two going on. So,
Okay.
I
but
know
yeah,
talk a friend into it like she did her husband.
yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
so it's what you
I
call
promise you, it's not trash. I wouldn't have stayed this long if it were.
Give him one more chance. I guarantee you. I'll even tell him what it is that you like.
I know, right? That is just crazy. Oh gosh.
That's funny. All right. So Sean and Sarah. So we see, I should call it Sean, Sarah, and Destiny, because that's what this is turning into at this point. So we see Destiny, she's out shopping for a baby at it looked like a cute little baby boutique. And she has her friend there, and they're talking, and she's saying that Sean repossessed a car from her that she paid half for, which I don't know how she paid half for since she wasn't working, just got out of prison. I don't know where you got half the money for a car from, but whatever. And she said he promised her a $10,000 engagement ring. I mean, most of the time women don't always keep their engagement rings anyway, so why do you think he should keep his promise of buying you a $10,000 ring? I don't know. I'm still trying to understand
Yeah,
that.
that's stupid.
And so yeah, so she's saying, she's talking to her friend, and she's like, I don't know, should I go and get a job, or should I go and get money from Sean? So Destiny still thinks that she has a chance to be able to swindle money out of Sean. I'm not for sure where that's coming from, because it seemed like once you went to prison, if he stopped sending you money, you would naturally start thinking that he's not going to give me any money. But she seems to think that. And with a swole belly. She still hasn't told us whose baby that is. I don't think it's Sean's, but yeah. And so then we see Sean and Sarah together, and Sean, he's writing his vows. He's written out quite a few pieces of paper on this notepad. Sarah's kind of messing with him about how long his vows are. And so somehow or another, she asks Sean, has he talked to Destiny? Or no, she asks him, does he have any more secrets that he hasn't told her? And he's like, well, I got one more, but I know you're going to get mad. So then he tells her he's talked to Destiny, but he still lies to her because he says he only talked to the girl once. And so then we get a clip of Destiny, and the producers are asking her how is she staying in contact with him? And she's like, I've been in prison, I've done forgery and la la la. I can get whatever information I want. And then she proceeds to also say that she still has access to his Facebook. And so then they show like a clip of her and her friend at that boutique or whatever. And she's like, well, maybe I should crash the wedding. And the friend is like, do you know what a wedding is? And she's like, no, but I'll check his Facebook page to see. That's why you can't tell all of your moves on Facebook. And so she finds Sarah's page. She clicks on Sarah's page. Sarah's like 5 days away from the wedding, and then has a post from where they're getting married. So now Destiny knows where they're getting married. And so, she says that she was able to get his number easily. So I'm kind of almost thinking that maybe she's cool with one of his friends that's a snake that keeps giving it to her.
See, I told you that last week, didn't I?
Maybe, I don't know.
But on Facebook, though, you can update your phone number. So if she's logging into his account and he keeps updating his phone number, then that could be how she's getting it too.
Yeah. All right. So Sean and Sarah, thoughts on them this week?
Now the funniest thing gonna be is when she do show up at the wedding, even though she got the information off of Sarah's account, Sarah's gonna blame Sean.
Yeah.
And how you say that you can update your number on Facebook, Sarah probably updated the number on Facebook, and his number probably is on her information. And girl gets all the information from her page, but in her mind, it's Sean's fault.
Yeah. And he can't. Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it's easy to believe that it's Sean's fault because he's so sneaky, so conniving.
Exactly.
And
yeah, because he didn't even tell her that the girl is out.
Right. Which, in a way, I don't blame him, because you see how she act when she find out that he was talking to her. So she would be having a hissy fit and going off on him, and he wouldn't be able to get any word in. He would be able to say, hey, she's out, but I didn't give her any information. And she'd be like, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying. So he can't win with her on this shit.
He can't win for losing in the situation he's in.
And then the other thing with the when about the money, because she asks, are you giving her money? And he's like, came out and said, well, she asked, and I told her no. She don't believe him. And she's like, why would a person keep on calling you asking for money unless they know they can get money from you? But he said no, and we know that he didn't give her any money. But in Sarah's minds, then why is this woman calling you? You're giving her money, you're taking care of her, so you're going to continue to do it. So again, like I say, he can't win for losing in this situation with Destiny. Now, Destiny, she needs to move on, because like you said, a person get married, get engaged. You don't always get to keep the engagement ring. And in that case, he only promised to give you an engagement ring. Since y'all did not get engaged, you did not get married, then that promise to me is non void. So you don't have a leg to stand on. Now,
Right.
so you're gonna threaten to take him to court? Go ahead, go to court. The judge is gonna throw that case out, and she probably won't even show up to court anyway. So then you have that. Then the car. So she said she put money down on that car. I thought you said
He
that he,
said she paid half of it.
yeah, because I thought you said that he had bought the car.
He did. That was his car.
Oh, okay. So you got that there. Then what makes her think that she deserved half of something she didn't put money down on? So she's delusional, and she's going to come up there. She's going to cause confusion, and Sarah's going to believe that stranger over her husband or husband to be, but it's his own fault because of all the lies and mistruth and untruths that he done told. That the boy that cried wolf, and it finally
Right.
came up. So now he's in a dilemma to where even if he tell the truth, he's lying. So
Right.
I feel sorry for him this week. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure next week I'm not gonna feel sorry for him because he always up and down with me. So, but right now I'm on his side and feel sorry for him, and he can't win, and he's the hand that he dealt, and that's
Yep.
what's sad about it. You playing the game and you gave yourself a bad hand when you have all the cards in your hand. So, yeah, that's all I got with him.
Okay.
I totally agree with you, Sean. That you summed it up right there. And then Destiny, I mean, damn, go after your damn husband. She's sitting there worried about this man instead of going after her husband, who's the baby daddy. So how about you just go on and deal with your husband? Put all that effort towards him on taking care of his child.
Right. Why is it another man's responsibility to take care of your child?
Yeah. When it's your husband's child. I mean, I know he left after she went back to jail, but
Because he have enough sense to block her off of Facebook and make sure she has no way of
Yeah.
contacting him. So
now
she
what
can't
state are
find
they in?
him.
Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
That's
she
more of a blue state, though, isn't it?
no, Ohio's red.
Ohio's red? Okay. Well, she needs to, I think you can start doing child support on unborn babies. So go on and get that child support if you need the money that bad.
Yeah, she can get the child support and the health care that she probably needs.
Yeah. Leave that man alone. But Sean, you were totally right. Because of all the lies he said, she's not going to believe anything. She's not going to believe it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys caught this, but her friend was like, I think you need to just get over him. And she's like, I'm not over him. I just want whatever. And I'm like, girl, leave him alone. You should be done making this man your trick.
Yeah, she's wanting a life that isn't yours. And then I wonder, can two pregnant women fight? Everyone else, when you're not pregnant and then you're trying to argue with a pregnant woman, you don't put your hands on her till she has the baby. But can two pregnant women fight?
No, I would think no. But that's the one thing, like Sarah, she was like, well, if she shows up at this wedding, it's going to be ugly. Sarah, if I was you, I'd calm down. Because
Fight
Destiny,
her.
I believe Destiny will fight you knowing that you're pregnant. And the fact that she's pregnant, I could see that not stopping her from fighting you either. She will get you, girl. You need to watch your mouth. You're not as tough as what you think you are. Now, my thing is, Kelly probably won't try to fight that girl pregnant. But I think even if you and Kelly went at it and you're not pregnant, Kelly would probably beat you too. I'm just like, you're just not as tough as what you're trying to make yourself seem like, a little scrappy.
You don't think so? I think little Scrappy got some scrap to her.
I don't think she got nothing on it. That's why she talks so much.
I think she's scrappy. I don't think she'll match for Destiny, but I think she could somewhat hold her weight, but I don't think she'll match for Destiny. But I just like everything Destiny is saying to sound stupid to me. Like,
Yes.
to me, it's just a whole like pointless scene because it's like she just said a whole bunch of pointless stuff. Like, should you get a job or should you go after your ex? Go after him for what? You ain't got his baby. You wasn't married to him. You wasn't nothing.
Right.
Like, so what? He promised you something in a boyfriend girlfriend relationship, unless y'all had that in writing, there's really nothing you can do. Like that's just a broken promise that he gave to you, or a lie he gave you, whatever the case may be. Cut your losses on that. That's stupid.
Right.
Then the car thing, like it just everything she was doing was sounding stupid. And then I don't know why she wouldn't be blocked in his phone or blocked on Facebook or something like that, just because he knows she crazy, and you know that, you know what I'm saying, you already have all these other like odds against you with Sarah because of all the lies you told, and then the fact that you got the baby mama who Sarah already obviously has some issues with. It appears that she has issues with. I don't know if they do in real life, but appears to have issues with. Cut out the one thing that doesn't even matter no more, and to me that's Destiny. She doesn't matter, so cut her out, like block her out. Both of them should have blocked her, in my opinion.
I don't think it's that kind of Facebook. I think she logs in as him.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, I don't think
But I
it's her.
mean, but like if Sarah's posting, unless her page is private, like sometimes you can see that stuff like without even being like you can create a fake and but then you can also create a fake page and sometimes see stuff and people putting it as public versus private or friends only. So it depends on how Sarah's putting that stuff on her page too. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but
If
either
she's
way,
logging in as if she is logging in as him, then she can totally see and access all his stuff, and he probably doesn't realize his account is hacked.
Or
That
she
she
could
has
have a
the
fake
password.
profile and be friends with him, and then she could see.
Yeah,
that's true.
unless she's friends
But
with Sarah too.
Yeah, Sarah don't
She
realize it.
could be, ain't no telling. She could have a fake profile and is friends with her too.
Yeah, I mean, because all that's like extremely possible. But it's just the fact that she's going through these lengths to try to get money from him when you got a whole husband who you need to figure out what's going on, because this dude owes you child support. This dude probably could potentially owe you alimony. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, you need to be working this out with your husband because you're a married woman still trying to chase an ex-boyfriend, ex-fiance about some promises of when y'all were dating or engaged or whatever the case may be. It just, to me, it just sounds stupid. And then I would feel sorry for Sean if he wasn't such a liar. Because I mean, even when the new season started, the fact that when he met up with his sister and them, and they didn't even know that old girl was pregnant. It's like you leave out too much stuff with everybody. And to me, for the fact that your own sister was like, but that's Sean. He don't tell the whole story. That's typical Sean. Like typical Sean to me sucks. Like, why do you leave out so much stuff? Like, to me, that's a detail that you want to tell somebody. Like, that's not to me a cute surprise unless y'all were already married and the family's already met and this and that. But you don't bring your convict fiance to meet your sister for the first time and it's like, oh, and she's pregnant. Oh, okay. Like to me, I don't know. I don't know. I can't feel sorry for him just because to me he's brought 90% of the stuff on himself. Whether it's with Kelly, whether it's with a girl, she has every right to not trust him.
But see, we also got to think about this is also the man who lies to pretty much every woman he meets about his own age.
That's what I'm saying. So when you lie about stupid stuff, you lie about everything, in my opinion. And I mean, even when Destiny was calling him, like, I mean, you weren't honest initially about all that. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like I would feel sorry for him if he was doing right and if things didn't still seem shady with him when the season started. But because he's still showing the same true colors, like I can't feel sorry for him because, like I said, everything he's got going on right now, the reason that she don't trust him is because it's still happening. Like the chick about to marry you and she's still having to like confront you about things that you ain't being honest about. So it's like, granted, yeah, she knows him, she realizes this about him, and she still want to marry him. That's kind of on her at the end of the day. Yeah. But he also got to know, like, you've created a woman who don't trust you too by starting a relationship out on lies from the get-go. So unless you're gonna make things right and start being an honest man, every time you get caught in a lie, it's just gonna make it worse. So I don't
Right?
feel sorry for him because of that. Like he did to himself.
Okay. So Sean, what did you think about Sarah and Sean this week?
Oh, he was the first one to go.
Oh yeah. No, I'm so used to skipping Sean. Um, Brittany and Ray this week. Okay, so we finally have Brittany and Ray back. So we see Ray is up. He's getting ready to go to work on his off day. Now, production, they love making us think one thing is going on when really it's another with Brittany and Ray. All right, so Brittany notices his outfit and that he's got on jewelry, and she's like, "Are you wearing that to work? Okay, you look real nice going to work." And and so when he leaves out of the house, he accidentally forgets his phone behind him. And so she ends up calling up like one of her friends or whatever. And, she's describing to this person, yeah, he's leaving. He's dressed nicely, but I don't know, he said he's going to work, but I don't think so, or whatever. But we end up seeing that he actually is at her parents' house. And so he went to her parents' house to ask for her hand in marriage, for their blessing, right? And so shockingly, the mom gives him her blessing. She's just like, y'all are two grown, consenting adults. Go ahead and do it. But her dad is like, he can't give his blessings to him. Which it was a shock because last season it was the other way around. It seemed like the dad was more on Ray's side than the mom was. All right, so I want to hear everybody's thoughts on Brittany and Ray this week.
Well, I'm curious to see what she gonna say once she realized where he was actually at. Because I mean, she was being real suspicious of him, which I guess rightfully so. Like, I mean, if he getting up and he doing things he don't normally do, that's rightfully so. And apparently they had some issues like during the off season time or something. So I get it.
Yeah, it was funny because
Um,
my first thought process went to that. I was like, oh, they're going to start the season off with? What is
yeah,
going on? But I didn't even
talking
realize
about what
they
was
had
going,
got
yeah,
married
like
yet.
that we were seeing some of the aftermath or of it happening. I don't know. But I was actually kind of disappointed in the dad for doing that because I'm like, I get it, it's his baby girl. He don't, and that part of it made sense to me that it's his baby girl and he just, I don't know. But I felt like the whole time he was at least kind of cool with Ray or being like, okay with Ray. And then all of a sudden it's like you didn't flip the script when the mom finally is like, you know what, you did the things that we wanted to see you do. Y'all are two grown adults. Um, you're gonna do it, you're gonna basically do it regardless, kind of in a sense is what it sounds like by saying you two grown adults, consenting adults. So it's like, and they know Brittany want to be married, I'm sure. I'm sure they
Yeah,
know that it's the daughter more so than him. It's just that he's on board with it now. But they know that
yeah,
girl probably was it. I'm sure they know she's been dreaming of being married. So if
yeah.
she's
And
gonna pick
she's a
him
Southern girl.
regardless.
Most
Yeah, and
Southern
she's gonna
girls
pick
want
him
to be married.
regardless because she's already said like this is what you want to be with. So it's like you're not gonna stop her from doing it, I don't think. But so the dad kind of he just disappointed me by doing that because I'm like, why the confusion? Like, why all of a sudden you got an opinion? Because it seemed like he didn't really have an opinion. It was like kind of whatever the wife said. So I felt like why now all of a sudden get it's your baby girl, but you weren't like that in the first however many seasons it's been. I don't know. So I don't know. I was disappointed in the dad's response because that is confusing. So now what is he supposed to do? The mom said yes, the dad said no. So now what? Do you go tell Brittany we can't because your dad said no, or like what do you do? Like that's a really confusing situation. And I know they didn't end it yet. Maybe
Mm.
something will change if they have a glass of wine. I don't know because she was like we might need the wine, but they didn't show nothing else. So I don't know. It's confusing, and the way they left it, I'm still like, what does he do? I don't even know what he does in that situation.
I don't think the thing with the dad that kind of threw me with them is that he didn't explain why. You know what I'm saying? He didn't, because even the mom still brought up money. She still brought up all the other stuff that still bothered her, but still gave him her blessing. The dad
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
never even said what the problem was.
He said something about not being able to let go of his baby girl or something. I was like, well,
Well,
that's
that's BS. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like, that's just not a valid reason. Like, if
yeah.
my dad was, and I think my dad, of course, if he were to say no, he would tell me no. He would tell me why he said no. I
Mm-hmm.
see abusive tendencies. I don't see that he's going to provide for you. He doesn't care for your kids the way you think he does. You know what I'm saying? But he wouldn't give him outside of that, that's just a crazy excuse to stop something your daughter wants. So I
Yeah.
I guess obviously eventually he does, or maybe Ray just goes against his will, but because they are married now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe he goes against his will, but I just think that's crazy. You should have more of a valid reason other than that's your baby girl.
Yeah.
She wasn't your baby girl. She ain't been your baby girl for what, 42 years?
Girl, 50.
Is it 50? Okay.
Y'all be so wrong on that girl. Y'all know that girl with 34, 35.
Girl, that's
Reese,
what they
knock it
say.
off. Knock it off, Reese.
That's how old she is.
She had pictures like I had pictures when I was a senior in high school.
Yes.
And I'm 41.
I'm
Either
21
way.
and it just feels a lot older when we do nostalgic, pictures. I took something like that,
I bet you she could
You
dance
know?
all the songs that were out there.
Either way. I mean, you ain't saying that's your baby girl when you know that dude living up in her house.
I know, right? They doing all the things married
Now,
couples do.
look, now, Ray is the type of man I would look at and I'd say, yeah, he's over there blowing out some backs.
Especially the way Brittany act. She don't hide what her man does from the public eye, so people ain't trying
Right,
to hide.
but I don't get that same energy when I look at Chaz.
But we know
back.
Chaz is a goober. We know that. Chaz is a little nerdy goober. He's a Poindexter. We know that.
But I think Sean was defending him.
Yeah,
No.
because you don't know.
I
You
do
know.
know.
No,
I
said,
am willing to
but
bet.
from looks, we're saying from looks. I said we don't know what he
I'm
can
willing
do.
to bet some money.
Yeah, I know
willing to
you
bet.
said that, Reese. You said it. But
Yeah, we're basing it off of looks, and by looks, yeah, he a goober. Like I wouldn't even look twice and think that he would be anything. Even watching him in the rock band, he didn't fit in with them either. He's a little cornball, but we don't know what the little cornball can do.
And two, she wouldn't be able to tell either way or not because she never had sex sober. So what she know what good sex is.
Yeah.
I just thought about it. If she hasn't had sex sober, she probably shouldn't have sex with him as the first time sober.
He might be the bomb. We don't know.
And plus, it's sober. She might like it.
Yeah.
Because if she doing
Better?
it, then yeah, she might enjoy it. Because if she has to be not sober or whatever,
Yeah. For a
whatever
second, I
she's
got
using,
worried.
huh?
I said, I got worried about her for a second there.
Yeah, so I'm saying that if she has to go through all that and whatever, be intoxicated or whatever she's using in order to have sex, personally, I think she really don't like to have sex. Because I'm thinking she might have a problem with sex, period, and she might need to talk to someone.
It's a job too.
Yeah, so she might not really like sex, but
that's her job. Like,
so yeah,
and
so she don't want to take her job home. But
she don't want to take a job off. She's like, I do this all day. I don't want to do this.
Right. And to me, to be like, okay, we need to get to know one another. No, you already know that man. You knew that man when he was in prison, when you was in prison, and when you came out of prison, all that stuff. So she wouldn't know good sex from bad sex because she never had it sober. She probably remember what sex feels like after she's done.
Right.
So Chaz might be the King Kong or whatever. But anyways, back to Brittany and Ray. That's what I want to talk about. The father, the reason why he said no is because he already know that the mama does not want them to be married. They done had this conversation before, and he's not going to be like, okay, because he think that she's trick is a trick. It's a trick. She don't want to be the bad guy anymore. So, but he knows that if he was to be like, yeah, y'all can get married. You got my blessing. He was gonna have to hear about it from the mom, and the mom would be like, why you told him yes? And then he had to explain to her, well, you told him yeah, and she'd be like, well, hey, I don't want them people to get married. So that's the only reason why I think he said no, because he don't have any other reason to say, because that's his baby girl, and the only thing she got to do is come in and say something to him, and he'd be all, yeah, you can go ahead on, So he'll flip flop. So I think he's scared of the mom. So, and he's still scared based on all of his past experience with her, and that's why he's trying to pretend like he's being hard, because he's just pretending.
Okay. All righty. Any other thoughts on Brittany and Ray this week?
Nope.
Okay. Well, that was the end of the show this week. So, as always, make sure before you leave, go ahead and hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button so you'll know when we go live. We go live every Saturday. We recap Life After Lockup. So, as always, thank you for watching, friends, and we'll see you next week. Bye.